Hi creative friends, this is Saraya and thank you so much for being here. So I allowed everything to dry and I'm gonna bring it up closer just so you can see the luscious, delicious quality of the paints on this cheap paper, how it is just sitting on top. So I hope that I have been conveying how the paints are actually sitting on top of the paper, and that means that it is more vibrant, it looks more raw. And one of the things I have learned on my art journey is that creativity can be done with anything. It can be done with minimal things, with minimal time. And history is full of stories of people who had limited resources, and actually sometimes limited resources can force us to think outside the box. Everyone from Toni Morrison, who was a single mom when she wrote her first book of two young boys, who worked a full-time job being an editor, and she used to get like 2-3 hours of sleep a night. She used to work really late at night, early in the morning, and that's how she wrote her first book. And then, you know, years later, of course, she's the queen of all the worlds, Toni Morrison. She won the Nobel Prize in Literature, the Pulitzer. I could go on and on and on. And I mean, history is just full of examples of people creating with bare minimum. So I just think that, you know, start where you are and use what you have. And that's a saying from Dr. Estes, Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And it's true for everything in life, and it applies to art as well. So one of the things I am trying to do, you guys, is I am trying to not make everything mean something. I still do it in my head, I have to say. So what I mean by that is, so I really like this part over here, right? And like, I'm thinking in my head, okay, I want to turn that into a crown or into her hair or this or that. But, you know, I can just leave it as is and just appreciate the beauty of the pattern of the design. Like even over here, I'm kind of liking that her, like, I'm just gonna bring this up closer. Like, part of me wants to kind of turn that into a face, like, you know, like, so say part of me wants to get out my Stabilo, and I'm not going to use the part, I'm going to use the blunt edge here because I don't want to draw on it. But part of me wants to use the real edge of this and like draw the face shape and, you know, put all the facial features and go in and like kind of cover up the background a little bit. But I really love this design, and it does not have to mean anything, or it could mean something. It could mean something like, you know, in a dream world, it could mean something symbolic or whatever. But I'm just trying to leave things as they are because I like them, I appreciate them, and it doesn't have to be explained. That being said, what I do want to do is I do want to add, I don't know, you guys, do I want to add, I was thinking I want to add like an eye, like leave this as is, but then add an eye over there, but I don't know. I do want to kind of like go over this and make that more of a neck. I do kind of feel like, hey, I want to do that. But yeah, this is where I am just feeling called to kind of move more into a symbolic, abstract kind of, you know, just, I think it started with my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal, like where I just felt really called to look at things more symbolically. You know, I'm still doing my 100-day project, mixed media portraits, and I'm still, you know, I still want to put, like, I want to put that eye over there, right? Like I do. I'm just fighting the urge. And that's where I am right now. I'm kind of like, okay, I know this is what I want to do, but I'm just holding myself back. I'm becoming conscious of what I want to do, but I'm also becoming conscious of like saying, no, I'm not going to do it. I want to do that, but I'm going to hold myself back right now. Maybe later if I still feel like, you know, oh, I really want to do it, I'll go in and do it. But right now I'm just going to hold myself back. So the reason why I want to do this, I'm still going to keep a little bit showing through, but the reason why I want to do this over here is because I want the dress to kind of pop more, but I still want to keep a little bit like into her neck, right? It's just kind of what I feel called to do. Another thing I'm really appreciating, I don't have a lot of colors on here, you guys. I just mostly have orange, blue, a little bit of this burnt sienna, and then the white of the page. But one of the things I'm really appreciating is I just absolutely love the orange blue combo. They're complementary colors and they just zing. And I am really loving this like orange blue. It's just like really appealing to me. It just makes me so happy. And I'm trying to do things that make me happy. I know that sounds weird. Like, why would I not do things that make me happy? A lot of times you guys, like, you know, we're like, oh, we should be doing this and we should be using these colors. And why am I only using like these limited colors and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just trying to be like, no, I kind of like this orange blue situation here, actually. And don't want to cover too much of this up. But another thing I am feeling called to do, where's my Stabilo? Is I want to make like an oval here. And this is something that started very prominently in my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal. And after a lot of writing about it in my studio log, etc., what I realized it means to me personally, and maybe it's part of it as a collective thing as well, like symbolism, etc., but it's about my voice. In the chakra system, this is like, you know, your throat is like your voice, you're speaking, you're you know, claiming ownership of your story, etc. All that comes from your throat chakra. And then obviously over here would be your heart chakra. So one of the things that it started in my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal, where a lot of the ovals started coming from the throat area. Like I can so see it like it was a pattern. So now I'm like, okay, I just feel called to do it over here by our heart. Yeah, so, and I'm just really liking it. And it's a really simple spread, you guys. And one of the things I want to just recap is using a cheap line composition notebook has so many great benefits. Like the first thing is it's really cheap. So you're not going to be worried about messing it up or wasting paper or whatever. You're not just going to have that, oh my God, I spent, you know, $30 on this sketchbook. So, you know, like it's just so like, you know, like you're just not really, I don't know. That's just the way, like even subconsciously, like I don't even worry about it, right? Because it's so cheap. And the second thing is it is so portable. Like you can buy 10 of them and just put them one in so many different places. The third thing is because it's so portable, it lends more to you working whenever you have, you know, time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And you can just grab a pen and you can just like write, you can doodle, you can make patterns, you can, you know, pull out a marker, Posca marker. You don't have to like have like all this elaborate stuff, like, you know, your paints, your inks, whatever. You can just have a little pencil case with just random cheap ballpoint pens, right? Another thing is because of the paper, because the paints don't sink into the page, they sit on top of it. So it just makes it like really raw and it gives it a sense of immediacy. And it just like the colors just pop, right? I'm sure there are more reasons to use a cheap line comp. Oh my God, there's a fly there. Oops. Yeah, it's summertime, you guys, and I had the back door open. So yeah, I probably do have a couple of insects here. But you know, it's just, there are so many great reasons to use different art supplies. So I would say just trial and error, and don't write something off because it's cheap. Like I mentioned, like Connie, she actually had us put a cotton washcloth type of like, just so you know, a cheap, like a cotton, a rag, okay, that you would use in your kitchen. She actually had us bring that to Oaxaca, and she uses that like magic, okay? So just, you know, try to look at the what are the strengths of the item you're using and try to play on those. Then anyways, you guys, I'm just really loving this. I'm just so smitten with it. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody, and I can go back in here, I can write on here, I can add to it, I can leave it as is, but I love it. I don't know. And later on, you know, you guys, I can actually tear it into pieces of collage, or I can even do cutouts and add it to my art journal. And because the paper is so thin, like, you know, it's so easy to just cut it out, hot glue it into your art journal, and voila, you've got like a whole different way of looking at, you know, the spread. So anyways, you guys, if you watch all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.